Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand and what is the most enjoyable and epic and video I thought I would never make on the United Stand ever. Ronaldo, how does he fit into Manchester United? CR7. We're going to look at it because I think Solskjaer wakes up this morning and has exactly the same conversation with himself that we have. How do I fit Ronaldo into this team? It's a great problem to have, but it's not one he was planning for in pre-season. Remember, Manchester United didn't think that Ronaldo would leave Juventus, and they certainly weren't looking at him even 2 days ago. Him going to Man City prompted them into action. It was good action, and now Solskjaer has to figure out how and what he does with this team with Ronaldo in it. It's a great problem to have. We're going to go through it now, and ultimately I think two things that jump out straight away for me are Cavani and Bruno Fernandes and what that means for him and how we get the best out of Ronaldo as a football side, and effectively the number one reason is the holding midfield. Now what I would say straight away about that team is if you've got Nemanja Matic at 28, we win the league, because ultimately that position where Matic is, if you've got Matic dropping in between the two centre-backs, allowing the full-backs to go forward, conducting the game, if he's 28, we've won the league. If you've got prime Matic, we win the league. That's the message. And that's the message that maybe was the case without Ronaldo, but certainly with Ronaldo, you've got prime Matic, you win the league, because he will just do the holding midfield role on his own. He'll work with Maguire and Varane. The fullbacks can go forward. Pogba's got freedom. Bruno's got freedom. And then you've got a front three of Rashford, Ronaldo and Sancho. And that team would win the league. I'm convinced about it. The problem is we don't have a 28-year-old prime Matic. We've got an old, ageing Matic who can probably only play about 70 minutes a week at his best. I think we've seen that for the last year. He does fade after about 70 minutes and he can't do it twice a week. So the problem you've got is, it's just one player. It's one player. And in the transfer window, I wish United would see it and go and do something about it. Because ultimately, if you haven't got Matic doing that job, you've probably got Fred doing that job. And as we know, Fred ain't Matic. He's probably no better than a Romu at Southampton. His passing's not good. So if you don't use him, you might use McTominay. And for me, McTominay's not even a holding midfielder. So that's the problem United have got this season, because ultimately, I'm going to drop Matic in there because he's the best representation of what we need. But what we need with Matic, what we need is one holding midfielder. Because with Cristiano Ronaldo in this team, what you've got to do with Cristiano Ronaldo is you've got to get the ball into the box for Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what you've got to do. You've got to get the ball into the box for Cristiano Ronaldo. And the way that you do that is very simple. You get the ball down the width. You get Luke Shaw bombing on. You get Wan-Bissaka bombing on. And you put crosses into the box. And you've got Jadon Sancho who can put a cross into the box. Rashford's not really the guy to do that, but you've got three outlets who can. Bruno will look for those balls, Pogba will look for those angled balls, and you start getting the ball in and around Cristiano Ronaldo from those outlets. But of course, that means you've got to rely on your three at the back, because your fullbacks are going to bomb forward, and again, it comes down to that holding midfielder. But look, I've not even mentioned it. Cristiano Ronaldo's got to play as the number 9. I've got him as the number 7. He's got to be the number 7. He's got to be the number 9. Ronaldo has got better neck muscles than a giraffe. He's unbelievable, and his movement's unbelievable. And I think a lot of people maybe didn't watch La Liga, maybe didn't watch Serie A, maybe only watched him in internationals. Like, Ronaldo is not the same player that he was at United. He's not playing down the wing. Anybody who thinks he's going to go down the wing and did what he used to do, he's not going to do that. He's not that sort of player anymore. He is arguably the world's best number 9. With Lewandowski and Harry Kane, I think he's up there with the best number 9s in the world. And his ability in the air, his strength, his ability with the ball to his feet, his shooting, you just got to get him in and around the box, and you've got to get chances created for him. So that's what we need to do. And Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka are very important. And maybe that's why he's looking at Trippier, because Trippier can put a good cross in. But I also think Dalot can as well. But Sancho will work very well with Ronaldo. Those little give and goes. With Bruno as well, they work together at international level. And Paul Pogba back on the centre, I think that's going to make a big difference. I mean, you could argue Pogba off the left and Van der Beek in and, maybe drop Rashford. But ultimately, I think Rashford will start. But that's how United need to work. And ultimately, as I said, it does come down to the fact that fullbacks getting forward are going to be very, very important. And that, to me, is going to be very, very dependent on how we utilise that holding midfielder. If we had one holding midfielder, I think this would be a very, very easy story. Just want to talk about Cavani for a moment before I talk about an alternative formation that we might use for Ronaldo. And we'll come away from this here. So with Cavani, I just don't see what we're going to do with Cavani. Cristiano Ronaldo is like Bruno Fernandes, he's like Paul Pogba, he's like Marcus Rashford, he's like Harry Maguire, he's like Luke Shaw. They play every game. Any big game, you play them. Champions League, Premier League, big cup day games, you play them. He is not a rotational player. The belief from Manchester United and those people around Ronaldo is that 2 years contract might not be enough. He might have another year in him after that. Now, whether he wants to stay another year after that, I don't know. He's here for 2 years. He's going to be 37 in February, which means he'll be 38 in his second season, which means he'll be 39 if he did 3 years in his final season. But people believe he might do that. So Ronaldo could be at United for, he'll be here for two seasons. He might be here for 3. He's not going to give up any game time. Cavani's only here for another year. We also know that Cavani's got injury issues and will probably only play about 60% of the games anyway. So I can see a very reduced bit part role for Cavani when he actually thought he was going to be playing a very high part role. Now, people will say, can you play them in the same team? And we'll look at that in a minute. But I just want to say that it might be best for all parties, considering the wages that Cavani's on and the fact that he nearly did go home anyway. We might end up mutually terminating the contract, which also gives the number 7 shirt to Ronaldo. But if we don't, I don't see how much game time Cavani's going to get, because I just don't see. Ollie doesn't like subbing Rashford when he's not playing well. He doesn't like subbing Bruno when he's not playing well. Can you see him subbing Ronaldo with 20 minutes to go? I just can't see it. Which then brings me to this. If you're going to give Cavani some game time and you're not going to sub Ronaldo, you're basically going to end up with 2 up front. Now, I mean, look, let's put Cavani, he's number 7 still, but let's say you've got Cavani and Ronaldo up front. You've got to lose somebody from here straight away to do that. And I would say it's probably going to be your wingers. You're probably going to lose your wide attackers. And you're probably going to go to something more like this. It probably is going to be the dreaded back 5. Because if you go to a back 5, you can play 2 up front. And you can still play Pogba. And you can still play Bruno. And you can put Matic in there. And that becomes 3, 4, 5... 4, 8, 9, 10. That becomes 11. I mean, you can do that, and you can see why he might be going for Trippier for that reason. But of course, the big issue when you do this is it makes absolutely no sense in relation to our attacking options. We're suddenly not playing with wide players. You spent £74 million on Jadon Sancho. You've got Marcus Rashford. You've got Jesse Lingard still. You've still got Dan James. Anthony Martial. Well, Anthony Martial can play as a forward. So if you're playing 2 up front, you could play Martial. I suppose you could put Rashford up there. You might want to play Sancho there. But a lot of people feel that we might go to a 5-3-2. The advantage of a 5-3-2 is it gives you natural width from your fullbacks. It does. The advantage of a 4-3-2 is that you can play 1 holding midfielder, but you've got 3 centre-backs. And also you can play Pogba, you can play Donny, you can play Bruno in there. And you can also play 2 up front. But for me, I don't like it because I like the fact that we have wingers. I think that's very, very important. And also, I think this guy is too good. He's too good to play with 3 centre-backs. You don't buy Varane and play 3 centre-backs for me. So I think Ollie has got to find this to be his solution. And therefore, it's better for us because it means you get to use Jadon Sancho on the right. That's not Jadon Sancho, it's Jesse Lingard. I need my glasses on here. That's Jadon Sancho there, and Marcus Rashford obviously on the left. And I think that just works better for Manchester United but what it does mean is, how's Cavani ever going to get to play? Because I just don't see Ronaldo coming off. So a lot of people saying, let's keep Cavani, let's keep Lingard, let's keep Dan James, let's keep Juan Mata, let's keep Anthony Martial. But I don't think you're realising that Ollie's problem last year was rotating players, and rotating players is something he hasn't done in the past. But he's probably bought players now that you don't rotate. You don't rotate Ronaldo. You don't take Ronaldo off for 20 minutes. Because one thing I will say about Ronaldo is, if you've been watching him recently, Ronaldo can play shit for 80 minutes. A cross comes in that no one else can get on the end of, and he'll score in the 82nd minute and win you the game. So you don't take Ronaldo off for 20 minutes to go. He's one player you don't take off for 20 minutes to go. So I don't really know, unless we're going to go to this back 5 and play a front 2, which makes our signing of Sancho somewhat weird, and also 3 at the back doesn't work with Varane in my mind. I think it's overkill when you've got someone like Varane. I mean, it's a saver for bloody Lindelof, but I think we've just got to play the way we are, and that's why we need to buy somebody here. The only other thing I wanted to say as well is that I do think that Cristiano Ronaldo very much knocks us up to that level where we can compete. I said this last night, we can compete for the biggest trophies. Consistency in the league is going to be the problem, and that's going to be on Solskjaer. But I think in the Champions League, got a really good chance. I'm not saying we're going to win it. We've got a really good chance in the Cups because I think we are a Cup team and we've proved that. Yes, we've bottled a lot of semi-finals and we've bottled the final, but getting to a lot of semi-finals under Ollie shows you that we are a Cup team, and I think with the additions we've made we'll be even better. Don't sleep on the impact of Varane, by the way. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about was Bruno. I think a lot of people are talking about who's going to take the penalties, who's going to take the free kicks. Well, Ronaldo will take the penalties because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. Free kicks, I think Bruno will still be a lot on free kicks. I mean, Ronaldo's free kicks, even when he was at United in the late noughties, he did score some good free kicks, but he's never been prolific with his free kicks. So I do think that Bruno will still take free kicks, but penalties it'll be Ronaldo. I mean, and there shouldn't be any debates. It's about the numbers. It's like the number 7 shirt. We've just bought Cristiano Ronaldo. He's one of the 2 best players in the world over the last 15 years, and he's still, for me, one of the best players in the world. So he is one of the best players of all time as well. So Cristiano Ronaldo will take penalties, and there'll be certain things in his contract, because he's. You play Football Manager, you play FIFA, people have stuff in their contract. They have stuff in their contract in real life. You're dealing with the biggest player in the world when it comes to like marketing and branding and everything like that. He's bigger than Messi when it comes to those things. He will have stuff in his contract down to, what ridiculous things. He's certainly going to have in there penalties. But he's here to win. He's here to win. That's the main thing. And Manchester United, with Cristiano Ronaldo in the team, will be equipped to do things that we weren't without Ronaldo. But as I said, the main thing for Ronaldo is it's getting the ball into him in and around that box as much as you can. And to do that, you need Pogba in the midfield, you need Rashford on the wing, you need Sancho on the wing, you need Luke Shaw, you need Wan-Bissaka bombing forward, and ultimately our defence should look like this. It should really just be the 2 centre-backs and 1 holding midfielder. That should be our defence. Everyone else should be getting forward and creating 5 or 6 good chances for Ronaldo every game. The problem we've had under Ollie over the last 18 months, no matter who's up front, is that we're barely creating 5 or 6 good chances for our striker a month. We've got to be doing that every game, which means a total reset on how we play. And to do that, you've basically got to get Pogba, Van der Beek, Bruno in that midfield, McTominay pushing forward when they play, Rashford, Sancho, Dan James, Martial, Lingard if he's still here, but pushing forward, the fullbacks pushing forward. And this is why we bought Varane for me, because Varane and Maguire can say get forward, but you do need that holding midfielder to conduct. And as I said at the start, I think if Matic is 28, we win the league. The problem is that position, and I can't believe we've only got 1 player who can do that role, and he's too old. Fred can't do that role. McTominay can't do that role. We should be going to get somebody who can get that role done, because I think we win the league if we do. Because Ronaldo, with all this lot, putting balls into this area, he's going to have a field day. But you need a conductor. You do need one. Anyway, look, smash a like on the video. That's one of the most enjoyable videos I've ever done, and I think it's going to be one of the most enjoyable seasons we've ever had with Ronaldo in the side. And what do I think? I'm not going to predict we're going to win the league. I still think that midfield situation is an issue. But I hope Ollie goes with what we went with there. Something that is basically an adaptation of what he's been doing, because I think a back 5 becomes problematic. I don't even think Ronaldo works well in a front 2. I think Ronaldo works well on his own up front. So let's hope that's the way that we go, but it's exciting. And Ollie's got the same issues we've just had there, because he wasn't expecting this 48 hours ago. So he's got to figure out a way how he gets the best out of him as well. And I'm sure he will do. Smash a like on the video, make sure you subscribe. And one final thing, the link is in the video description for a video I did because of you lot, driving with Goldbridge, with a guest. Please give it a watch. I want to know what your thoughts are, because it's because of you that you gave him the opportunity to do it. It's well produced. It's a brand new series. I just want your feedback. So please click the link in the video description and give it a watch. That would mean a lot to me. Links in the video description for that. Go and give it a watch now. Thanks for watching.